chair of co-chapter chair, Gays Against Groomers, Rocky Rodriguez.
How are we doing, everybody? First of all, I'd just like to say thank you for having me out tonight, and I just want to appreciate the opportunity that I have here to explain what our organization does, what we fight for, and why we fight for what we do. First of all, Gays Against Groomers is an organization that is based of gays, lesbians, and real transsexuals that know what they are, who believe that you should not indoctrinate children, you shouldn't radicalize children, and you shouldn't medicalize children. There is nothing great about transing your child that will come of it. Gays Against Groomers started in 2022. We are going on 2 years strong now. It started with the Gay Who's Straight, Jamie Michelle. She's the founder of the organization, a lesbian woman, biological woman, who also just happens to be Jewish. So whatever you guys have heard about the organizations and the lies you've heard on Wikipedia and everything else, I'm just here to dispel that. What's happening in our schools is a travesty, and honestly was not what I fought for growing up as a young adult, and is not what anybody in our community has fought for. What it meant to be gay and lesbian has totally been erased and changed to what today's definition of what it is supposed to be. You're no longer gay, you're queer, or you're non-binary, or you're a they, them. None of that has a real bearing on reality, and in my reality, that doesn't even exist. What it is, personally, I believe that is a mental delusion that these people believe and that they live in. Hold on one second. Oh, sorry about that. So we're all here because of what happened 2 Mondays ago, Title IX, Winneconne School District. Obviously, we have Peggy Larson, who says one thing when she's in front of a lawyer, in front of a school board, but then when she gets on TV in front of the news, she says she's willing to compromise. But if these people are willing to compromise, I just have one question. Instead of invading women's sports and women's spaces and taking away their opportunities and their scholarships, what is wrong with you creating your own space just like everyone else has? What is wrong with having your own, rather than taking something from people that have worked their whole lives for? You're taking away scholarships, opportunities, college opportunities from these young women. We have people in power that take their position and will take it to the extreme. For a couple of examples, we have Brett Bloom. He was a father of two, a judge of a children's court, who was convicted of sexual assault and sentenced to 9 years with 20 years supervised release. And he was 4 counts of child pornography distribution, and he was actually doing it while on the clock as a child circuit court judge in the city of Milwaukee. We have in Outagamie County in Appleton, Adam Westbrook, who was a human resources manager and was arrested and had 4 counts of sexual assault, child exploitation, and he was actually a volunteer in a Menasha School District, in a Kaukauna School District for theater production. These people take powers of positions and they abuse that. That is the common pattern you see with teachers, therapists, counselors, doctors, and even sometimes parents even take advantage of their own children, because today the trans kid is the new liberal white women's Gucci bag. And they use that for their points online to say, hooray, look what I have created, because they need that attention online. No sane adult, I'm sorry, my personal opinion, would allow their children to go through what I have to sit there and look and research and watch videos and see these procedures being done onto these kids. For them to say that double mastectomies does not happen to minors is a lie. For them to say that they're not giving puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones to minors, that is a lie. If that was the case, we wouldn't have detransitioners such as Chloe Cole, who had a double mastectomy at the age of 15 years old. We wouldn't have Jazz Jennings, that was brought up basically on TLC, transition to the whole entire world, who now regrets it, by the way. You don't see her him living a happy life. And that's one thing I'm tired of, is bowing down to these people's words that don't make any sense anymore. If a man is a man and a woman is a woman, I'm sorry, but I live in reality, I live in science, and I live in biology. And that's the real world, and I'm tired of playing games with these people. We spent too many years quiet and saying, oh, it's okay, it's not going to go that far, things aren't that extreme, and look where we are right now. We got men who don't know if they're men, we got women who don't know if they're women, and we have teachers exploiting your children just because They want to, and they think that you have nothing, you actually don't have any say in it anymore because your parental rights are gone. Hopefully, we can get them back, but it's going to be a hell of a fight because these people that are behind them are straight up Marxist, communist people. They don't care about you, they don't care about your family, they only care about them. And if that was the case again, I ask, why not have your own separate spaces? I don't believe that all these people that are falling victim to this ideology is intended. I think what it is they're afraid and they don't have a place to go and they don't have acceptance the way they want to. When I was growing up, I look at these kids now who say they're non-binary and they're they, them. All what I see is when I was a teenager growing up and I was the goth kid in high school that just wanted to fit in. Dyeing my hair, piercing myself just so I fit in somewhere. But the difference is I grew out of it because I wasn't indoctrinated into it. I didn't grow up believing it. I didn't believe a lie. I just looked a certain way and acted a certain way, but it wasn't who I was. These people base their whole reality and their identity on who they are. And I actually, I challenge them to let me know what rights you don't have that a straight person would have. You guys can do that, I can't. I can get a gun, I can buy a house, I can drive a car, I can have a child if I want to. Nothing is stopping me from living my life the same way you do. It's not about equal rights, it's about special treatment. That's the difference. There was nothing left to fight for as of 2015. We were able to do everything we wanted, even get married. After that, the Human Rights Campaign, who was a big proponent in supporting gay rights, lost all their ability to raise money. So what did they do? They jump onto the next best thing, and that was going to be trans kids. That's what this is all about, money. In the end, it's all about money. The big pharmaceutical companies that are making money on all these surgeries and cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers, Lupron, which is a well-known drug that they give pedophiles in prison who have committed the acts, they're giving that to children, little boys, to castrate them. And you could look it up online. It is not a lie, like a lot of people like to say. They give little boys Lupron to block their puberty, which makes them sterile. Marcy Bowers, who is a famous transgender surgeon, actually admitted that on Tanner stage 2, they are completely sterile. So you're taking away these people's ability to have children. You're taking away these kids' ability to give birth to a new life because of how they're feeling. Back in the day, you used to have to spend years and years and years. If you were thought to be transgender, you would have to spend years in therapy. You would have to live years as the opposite sex and then decide if that was something you wanted to do. Nowadays, you can walk into a clinic and get a prescription for hormones in 5 minutes or less. And that's not a lie. You could also see Matt Walsh did it. A lot of other people online have went into these clinics and gotten prescriptions just because they said they felt like the different sex. It's a slippery slope, and I hate using that word because it's used against people and like me all the time, but this is a slippery slope. What they've done, we gave them an inch and they took a mile, and now everything is turning to hell, and very quickly. I just want to encourage you people to know that there's so many people on this stage right now that come from different backgrounds, have different walks of life, do different things, but we all come together no matter the differences, the political parties or beliefs, because we have one thing in common, and that's to protect the future of our kids, your kids, and our generation of kids, because if we let them continue the way they're continuing, our country will fall. We cannot have kids who grow up to be adults that don't even know what gender they are on 20 different thousand medications, and will break at the sign of someone confronting them and questioning their beliefs, and they crumble like crackers in water. They have no basis for their beliefs. I don't believe that is a successful future for us to have. I think we need to go back to the time when reality was just and we lived with biology and facts. If you feel a certain way, that's cool, but I don't think you have the permission to make that and dictate that someone else's worldview or belief. Your beliefs are your beliefs, not ours. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just want to let you know that there are normal gays and lesbians out there who care about the sanctity of what it is to be a child and what it is to grow up. If you let these kids grow up naturally, a lot of them end up just being gay or lesbian or just confused, and they grow up out of it to lead happy, successful lives. What they're doing is they want to say that it's honestly the modern day conversion therapy that's happening right now. It used to be you pray the gay away. In 2024, they're transing the gay away, they're transing the lesbians away, and they're transing the whole community that I once knew and loved away just off of a feeling. Just want to let you know we have your back and we are here to fight with you. If there's ever anything you need or you see or something's going down in your school board, there's a drag queen story time or anything like that, you just reach out to us and we will be there to help fight for you guys. We just got one shut down that's supposed to be happening in Brown County. The Brown County Library bookmobile was supposed to have a drag queen story time. Sorry, not going to happen. I don't get what the fascination is with drag queens. Biological men dressed in women's clothes to read to children? Okay, cool. If it's about inclusivity and teaching acceptance, how about you have a gay policeman, a lesbian surgeon, a doctor, a firefighter, an EMT, somebody of substance that creates something in our country and makes something of something, rather than a man masquerading around in 20 pounds of makeup looking like the worst version of Pennywise you could ever see. I'm sorry, but if you want to teach inclusivity, there's different ways to do it. I don't have to read sexually explicit books to kids to teach them that maybe people just live a different life and that's okay. Focus on you and do you. What other people do is not our problem. If they are not paying your bills, pay them no mind. But we don't have that common sense. We need to make sense common again. We need to leave the kids alone and let them grow up to be who they are, not who we want them to be. Parents, if your little daughter says, well, I like to throw a football, just let them throw a football. You don't got to give them a double mastectomy and put them on hormone blockers or any of that. Let them grow up because, you know, they're probably just a tomboy. If I was to grow up now, coming out as gay now, I would be convinced that I was a transsexual. Why? Because that's what you see in social media. That's what you see on TV. They always glamorize the transsexual lifestyle, but they never want to talk about the horrors of it. The reconstruction surgery, the deaths that happen on the table when they're performing these surgeries. You can all look this up. This is all online. These are things that happen. They put little boys on, they block their puberty, so these little boys grow up with, sorry to be graphic, but they grow up with a micro penis, so first of all, they don't even have what it takes to make what they want. So it's catch-22. They're just being led down a path. And the biggest horror of it all is the money they're making in the pharmaceutical companies. One transgender person is at minimum $1 million they will spend in their lifetime on therapy, reconstructive surgeries, medications, and they're on hormones and all these medications for the rest of their life to keep their transition going, because the moment they stop, it's just like a drug addict quitting cold turkey. We know what happens to that. It's just an unsafe place for kids nowadays, and I just want to let you know, not all of us are like the people you see, or like the people you see over there. We actually do care, and we do want to fight with you. And just know that it's not I live my life a lot differently than all of you, but it's none of my business what you do, and just like it's none of your business what I do. Just know that I'm here to help you guys fight with whatever you need, no matter where you are, where I am. We will always be there. And there's warriors out there like Scarlett with Moms for Liberty, Laura with Moms for Liberty. We got so many people out here fighting for the same thing. And just know that when we come together, we could do some amazing shit, guys. For real.